Hey Heather, hope all's good. Sorry if it's a little dark at the moment. I think when the footage kicks up, it should be okay. Right, let's go through a bit of your footage. Let's see what we've got. Good to hear that the back is generally feeling okay. Um, so we'll move on to step two of the return to play sort of protocol. Let's have a look what we've got here. Okay, a little more control onto that box. There still is a little bit too much of a thud onto it. Okay, you're kind of going down and down and down until the box stops you, whereas I want you to gently rest yourself on the box. Okay, so imagine there's sort of let me think of an example, like a wafer or something, I don't know, on the box, and you've got to lower yourself down gently enough that it doesn't like crack or you don't break it. Okay, so nice and controlled. In general, though, yeah, smooth. If anything, coming down on the box kind of that hard is actually rocking you forward a little. Is actually just like sort of like knocking, like abruptly kind of wobbling your bar path. But in general, nice and smooth, solid. Okay. Yeah, and you know the box where you've got it at the moment is basically right on the money. So the reason this might be saving your hip strength a bit and sort of like that sort of abrasion on it, just because we're down here when you're at the hip is at its most compressed and you're in on paper your worst position. The box is just sort of alleviating all that strain and just shoving it back towards the quads. I did not know Michelle trained. Is that Michelle? Ed's. I don't know actually. Looks like her if it isn't. So at the moment, okay, the legs kind of a little out in front. Okay, we want them stacked directly underneath. Okay, if I use that example of the leg extension machine, okay, you wouldn't get the most bang for your buck out of your leg extension with your leg in this first position, like sort of dangling out in front of you. So you know that's why you can adjust those machines and bring them back. Is for you want maximal quad contraction with it.
Here's what I found.
Oh, Google felt the need to pipe up there. Okay, breathing on the first view still just a little wobbly. Okay, and we've really got to get that process nailed down, Heather. Once the bar's unracked, it's the shoulders down and back. You've got to be in that position before we start going. Okay, just with the amount of bench volume that's in there at the moment, it's kind of it will catch up on you and it will start wearing down a little bit if the shoulders aren't in that depressed and retracted position. Okay, where they're safest, they're pressed up against all the meat back here. Okay, and they're just okay. Even if you just start, like, you can feel how sort of vulnerable the shoulder is at the front. Okay, there's just nothing here, whereas once you've got the shoulder set back and the meat at the back of the shoulders and through the traps, it's a lot happier position to be in. The technique is fine. The technique has always been pretty solid. We'll just have a look at tidying up that leg drive a little bit. That's solid, yeah. You know, in that higher position, because the weight's moving so easily for you, I like that you really do pull the shoulders back. You get yourself nice and settled on those because it's so easy. You can kind of focus on the bigger picture and focus on the little things. Yeah, not bad. Again, it's that bottom portion. It's from the knee down is where things are just a tiny bit wobbly. On the squat, nothing drastic. Nothing on the squat, on the bench, nothing drastic at all. Something that's a minor tidy up, and when we start incorporating the leg drive, that it just won't feel good from that position. Good. Yeah. So the box has definitely got to come down. As long as the pain isn't there, the box has definitely got to come down this week. And then we'll slowly start reintroducing you getting further and further down to that bottom position. Because at the moment you're still getting the stimulus, they're still hard, it's still getting the quads working, and we're just going through an almost identical pattern. Good. Oh. So to set up on that one, I like to see you more going into like for the pause work. I don't know if that was meant to be flat back bench in particular, but I like you with your neck flat and really get the chest in settled down. Just with that one, it's just kind of a little bit kind of limp and just kind of lay down on there. Again, this is brilliant, this is fantastic, this is all legs, this is quads doing the work here, okay, as it gets lower and lower into the ground. So this is like what you've got here is picture perfect. Save this video, delete all the others if you need to make space on your phone and stuff, but save this one, okay? When the block drops down, so you drop those, I think they're 10s, those 10s get knocked off, this is what you're aiming for again, because there's somewhere between it being that high up and towards the floor where the chest falls, and your chest sometimes does creak over into more of that sort of like very wide stance conventional. So let's kind of spot where that is and spend a bit of time in and around that area. Pretty good, pretty flawless. We'll move the boxes down on everything this week. We'll see how the session RPE kind of manages up with that kind of stuff. We'll start reintroducing as well some competition bench, some full arch bench, just to keep the movement sharp. Excuse me. And we'll have a look at it and just see how that competition bench is looking, you know, on more than one occasion, because I've only seen it a couple of times right when we first started. And then, like I said, we'll start your drills on that will be focused around the leg drive, really making sure we get every last ounce, because I think the upper body's doing as much as it can. I think for the weight of lifter that you are, there's only so much you can excuse me, that you can kind of pack on. So we need to try and get these bad boys doing some work in the meantime, okay? Programs will be adjusted, okay? You'll get your next 2-week block in your folder by tomorrow afternoon, hopefully around the midday-ish kind of point. If you're training before that, let me know as soon as you get this video and I can make adjustments, okay? Usually a bit more in the evening during the week, but let me know.